welcome and welcome back to my channel, The Anonymous Budgeter. If you guys are new here, welcome, and if you're back for another video after almost a year, thank you guys so much for checking out this channel. So this video is going to be my debt confession. I figured since I've been gone for almost a year or over a year, I would start back fresh by kind of laying out my debts and what I plan on doing in regards to debt and how I plan to tackle it, since this is going to be a big focus on the channel moving forward. So if you guys are interested in that and you just kind of want to chat with me and see where I've been and what I've been up to, let's get right into the video. We're going to dive right into it and let's go ahead and get this started. So I have my little pink book here, which I'm going to use as a reference because I have all my numbers down on here. So just bear with me because I'm a little bit blind. So we're gonna dive right into the debts that I currently have. So for a little bit of background, I did have consumer debt and I had a lot more student loans, but I've been kind of sort of paying off debt as well as saving. And you know, in the beginning of the year, like, my goals have shifted and I really wasn't expecting that to happen, but I'm really now focused on paying off debt. So we're going to start going through the list of what I'm working with. So the first loan that I have, so these are my Stafford loans. So this was from my graduate program. I graduated in 2017, and right off the bat I had Grad Plus loans and Stafford loans, and my student loans were over $200,000. So I've had these loans for quite a while, and in the beginning of this journey I did not see a way out, right? So currently my student loans are with Nelnet, and I have them in different groups because I previously had Grad Plus loans and now I have Nelnet, and this is how I guess they organize their loans in terms of groups. So the first group I have is Group AH, and the beginning balance is $2,374. Now these are the balances that I had. I think I wrote this down in 2020. So these were the balances that I started off with. This loan had an interest rate of 3.4%, and the current balance for this loan is currently $0. So it's been paid off, and I paid this loan off in the beginning of January. And this one has a balance of $2,852.12, and it also had an interest rate of 3.4%. The current balance is also $0. So this one has been paid off. Now we're going to switch to the red pen because these ones definitely have balances on them. The next group that I have is Group AJ, and the balance I started off with is $36,634.93. This loan has an interest rate of 5.31%, and I do have a current balance on this loan, $39,886.73. Now this is more than what I started off with, and when I was actually going through these numbers, I was actually shocked that this one was actually more than what the original balance was. So it just goes to show how really important it is to keep track of your loans and see the progress that you're making, because I definitely wasn't even paying attention. I didn't even realize it until when I was kind of like going through what I had started off with and then what I currently owe. And so for the next one, which is Group AK, I started off with a whopping $46,987.95, and I had an interest rate of 6.21%. This one has a balance of $38,134.08. So at least this one is less than what I started with. But yeah, you can tell that the interest rates are definitely not the best in these grad Stafford loans. And I do have a doctorate degree, if you're wondering, like, oh my gosh, your student loans are insane. Yeah, it is. And I went to a state school, so it's really surprising how expensive tuition is. And that was like back in almost like 10 years ago. That was like 2017. Well, not almost 10 years ago, but that was like 2017. So I can only imagine how expensive it is now, and I don't even want to know. So the next one I have was $42,401. And this one has an interest rate of 5.41%. And I currently have a balance of $39,774.29. And yeah, and then the last one that I have is Group AM. So I started off with $44,053 with this student loan and 43 cents. And I have an interest rate of 5.84%. And I currently owe $34,931.50. When I got these numbers, these are the numbers that I pulled like 3 days ago. That was from March 21st. Today is March 25th, and I did make a payment today, so this will definitely be changing in like a few days. But I currently am doing the debt avalanche method, so I'm working on paying Group AK right now because it does have an interest rate of 6.21%. Now with my student loans, they're automatically, I do auto pay, so I do get like a discount on the interest rate. So currently all of these interest rates are under 6%, but I still just put the original interest rate on there. But I'm really aggressively just paying off this one because I really want to get it done. I want to have it out of my life. But I'm also monitoring these ones because I really don't want them to like balloon as well. But I just have to focus on paying down this one, that avalanche method, and just kind of trusting the process, even though it's stressing me out a little bit. And this is the current debt that I have. So if we go down, oops, let me take my calendar out the way. If we go down to the bottom, the total that I have for my beginning balance was $175,304.33. So I really started off with a hefty amount. And if you're wondering, well, that's not over $200,000, is because I paid off a small undergraduate loan, and I also had Grad Plus loans, which I paid off. But I'll go over that when I am done doing all the current balances, and I give you the final current balance that I have, which is $152,726.60. So that's currently what I'm working with in regards to my current debts and my student loans. This is the only debt that I have. I don't own a home, so I don't have a mortgage. I don't have credit card debt. My car is paid off. And a lot has changed since the last time that I filmed. When I filmed, I was definitely a single girl. I was single income, no kids. I was living on my own. But while I was doing my, budget, every year when I had to renew my lease, my rent is getting more expensive. And, trying to do all the things, saving, putting money into retirement, putting money aside in sinking funds for vacation, for car repair. My car is almost 10 years old, but I do drive a Honda Civic. So I'm like, let me just start maybe thinking about maybe I might need a new car in the future. And, wanting to give and help. And my margin at the end of the month was like $450. And I was just like, this is just not possible. Not to mention, and I was trying to also buy a home, and I just could not see that was possible. And I feel like for me, from where I started making minimum wage to now, I really do make a decent income. I am a 6-figure income earner. With the way the housing market is, with inflation, it's really hard. And I can definitely acknowledge that. And for me, one of the solutions I came up with was I just broke my lease. I saved money up in the beginning of the year. I broke my lease. I just had to pay a small fee, and I moved back home with my family. I'm able to save up a lot more. So when you see I'm doing my budget and you see my line item for rent and you're just like, how is your rent so cheap? That's why. It's just my personal decision. It's part of my, personal financial journey. I understand that not everybody has the option to do that, but I feel very blessed, very privileged in my position to have family that I can go back to. I have to do what's best for me, and for now, this is financially what I have to do, unfortunately, in order to survive. So right now, I'll give you guys a breakdown of my debts. In 2020, I wrote down a list of all my debts that I had from basically 2018 to 2020. This was at that point in 2020 when I sat down and I just wrote down everything that I had, and I had about $20,000 in consumer debt. So that was my credit cards. I had like 3 credit cards. I had a MacBook, I had a Samsung cell phone that I bought, and I also had my auto loan. When I was in grad school, my parents actually paid off the loan. It was about like $17,000. So when I took over it after graduating and getting my job, it was about like close to $8,000. Some of the numbers are probably a little bit lower than they were just at the time when I wrote down the information, but from what I gathered, this is like kind of, you know, close enough. So I had about $20,000 in personal loan, I mean consumer debt that I paid off. For that part, I actually used the Dave Ramsey plan and like the debt snowball, and this really definitely did help me pay off all these loans and the debt that I had. And when it came time to my student loans, I just ignored it. I carried so much fear and shame with these student loans because, you know, at the time when I started back in 2017, 2018, getting into the debt-free community, not a lot of people had like over $200,000 in debt or like 6 figures in student loans. So I really felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm such a loser. Like I had so much shame with these student loans. Like I would budget. I feel like back then I kind of had I also had another little YouTube channel, but I would never talk about my student loans because I was so shamed for these loans because it was a lot, and I felt like people, you know, they never talked about all these loans that they had. But girl, come to find out, we all in the same boat, to be honest. So that's another reason why I really wanted to share my debt confession, just so that if there's one other person out there who's probably in a similar situation like me, and you just carry so much shame or fear or just like anxiety with your student loans, guys, it is possible. You're not going to always be in the same position as you are, you know, 5 years from now. You're gonna get raises, you may get a new job, you may, you know, I don't know, find that passion within you to like, you know, pursue something and say that you do deserve more, you do deserve to get paid better, and kind of, you know, be an advocate for yourself in that way. And that's really what happened to me when I started off. I was not making 6 figures, so that's another reason why I just was like, I'm just gonna ignore these student loans because there's no way I'm gonna pay it off. But once 2020 hit and, you know, we had the pandemic, I really just buckled down and I took advantage of that student loan pause. The first thing I got rid of were these Grad Plus loans because the interest rates on these loans were insane. So whenever I was making the minimum payment, they weren't even hitting the principal. It was all just going to interest, and the loans were ballooning, and it was just a really sad, tragic situation. So I really had over $235,000 in debt overall, if you include my student loans with consumer debt. And in regards to the student loans, the breakdown for my Grad Plus loans, if you look at those interest rates, they were like 6-7%. So once we had the student loan pause, I literally used the debt snowball to pay this off. I had, the biggest one was about $15,000, and that was the last one that I paid off. And it took me about maybe like a year to pay this off. And then once I paid it off, I didn't immediately go to my Stafford loan. I just ignored this because I was like, now I need to start saving. Now I need to start focusing on saving up for retirement, saving up a good emergency fund. I also at the time wanted to get a house. I was like, let me save for a down payment. So I kind of shifted my, you know, focus on kind of like saving and, you know, retirement and things like that. And of course I was still living my life. I still have to eat. I went on just small vacations, nothing crazy, you know. So yeah, but now I'm really, I guess it's because I'm in my late 30s and I don't want to move into my 40s and my late 50s and 60s with student loans. I really don't want to have any debt, and I'm really just chasing financial independence and security. And it's not going to be a sexy process. It's probably going to be really slow and steady. And so I just pray and hope that anybody who's watching this, if you are kind of in that similar boat, you know, like just be encouraged, because sometimes, you know, you have to take it slow and steady, and it's a little bit, you know, put one foot in front of the other and just keep moving. Because I started with literally over $200,000 in student loans, and now I have like $152,000, and it's probably less than that. So when I give you like an update of my debt, you'll see where I'm at right now, which I'm really excited for. And also too, I just want to document this journey, because while I was doing this, I didn't realize how much student debt I really had. I think I just wrote this down and I just ignored it, but there's value and importance in kind of like tracking your progress and celebrating the small wins. If you guys are interested in that, please consider subscribing. Talk to me down below and let me know if you do have student loans, like what's up, what's good, what's going on. Be encouraged. This is not going to be a sexy process. I don't have thousands of dollars to throw into like student debt, but slow and steady wins the race, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully this video is not too long. I'm trying to get it under 15 minutes, but we'll see. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time. Leave me some comments down below if you have any questions. If you have suggestions of channels that you think I should be interested in watching, especially if they're on a debt-free journey, let me know, because I'm trying to build a little YouTube community where I can be encouraged while I'm also paying off debt as well. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.